Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. I'm going to do a reading for Libra energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Libra energy. The bottom row is going to be a more worldly focused Libra energy or a more shadowy Libra energy. It could be a battle going on within some people, within you. If you're a Libra or cross-watching for a Libra or just watching tarot videos, we all harness some Libra energy. So this reading is going to be about the energy that's available for people. And if they choose to move forward in a high vibe way, they have the free will to do that. They choose to align with their more worldly nature or their more shadowy nature, they have the free will to do that. And some people have definitely picked, I'm doing high vibe, and some people have definitely picked, I'm living the more worldly focused life. And so just listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story, where some other people are at in your life. You know, it's about what people think is just and fair, what motivates and inspires them. Does love motivate and inspire people, or do they prefer to live more from their mind than their heart? Are they emotionally defensive? Is the worst thing in the world being hurt in love? Why would some people be so afraid of that? Probably because they don't have a very strong emotional foundation within themselves to believe that they can weather storms in life, you know? Or they're very, just operating from ego. And then some people are really shadowy and they think it's just and fair for whatever idea they have about life. I can be bossy, I can be controlling, it's all about me, I'm self centered, I'm immature, I don't want to change any of my ways of being. So, the reason for the reading for the high vibe people is the judgment card. People who realize that there's consequences for our actions and they've learned lessons in life to realize that if I operate from my shadow nature, I'm probably going to align with people who are in shadowy energy. And it's probably not going to work out the way I thought. You know, if I want my dreams to come into reality, I need to hold myself accountable for my actions, quit indulging in my shadow nature, which is the reason for the low vibe energy. It's the devil. We all have a dualistic nature. We live in a dualistic world. We can align with our more worldly nature, which is our more like beastly nature. Um, I'm selfish, I'm greedy, I'm self centered, I'm prideful, I'm egotistical. It's all about me, my wants, my needs, my lust, my greed. I am the center of the universe. Everything's about me. That's us in our beastly nature, justifying however we live our life. We have the potential to rise above our more beastly, animalistic nature to live a more enlightened way of being. And it's about seeing life from a higher perspective, that there's a higher truth and justice we can aspire to. But it does take work and effort to free ourselves from our more worldly nature. If we don't want to sit in our fear and insecurity, we have to offer ourselves love and compassion and forgiveness. We have to heal and offer peace and compassion to people in our past to free ourselves from it. Otherwise, we'll keep repeating these patterns. So what's going on in the top row? We have the Page of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the reason is because of the Judgment card. People who have been willing, we have to humble ourselves. That's our shadow nature. We have to be willing to humble our more prideful, egotistical nature that, no, I want it my way. No, I don't have to learn anything. No, I just want what I want. Well, we can, we're working with other people in the world. We can't make other people be kind or loving or like us or want to be in a relationship with us. We have to humble ourselves and realize that everybody else has free will. And if there's some people in our life who have decided to align with their more shadowy nature, they think it's just and fair to be bossy and controlling, prideful, egotistical, materialistic, immature, indulgent. Well, if we don't want that, that's not our dream relationship. We have to accept that, oh God, is this not the right relationship for me? And we can love those people and we could wish that they would move forward with us. But everybody has their issues to deal with. Everybody has to free themselves to be open to love. Everybody else has to humble themselves and accept that they have lessons to learn. Some people are very prideful, egotistical, and self-centered. And they don't think they should have to detach from any of their ways of being. People should indulge them in a relationship. And other people are like, no, if I act immature, selfish, greedy, prideful, egotistical. There's people that don't want to be in a relationship with me. People ignore my love. People don't offer me love. If I want my dreams to come into reality, I have to be willing to humble myself and put in work and effort to grow and mature myself and let go of some of my more self centered, immature, selfish, greedy, whatever ways of being. I need to be willing to let go of clinging to my more worldly nature. I need to be willing to learn lessons. I need to heal. I need to see the truth. I need to get balance within myself. Quit indulging shadowy. If I quit indulging my more immature, indulgent, I want what I want nature, I'm not probably going to be hanging out with other people who are happy when I live my life that way. If I heal and I grow and mature myself, where I move forward in life, living life differently, I'm no longer going to be up in my head about, everybody has to take responsibility for healing and growing and maturing themselves. And the only person we can really control, or that we should bother trying to control, other people we can try to motivate and inspire them and offer them love, but they have to do that work within themselves. So sometimes the best thing we can do is like, you know what? I accept that everybody has free will. You have the free will choice. God gave it to you for you to live your life whatever way you want. It all serves a purpose in the big scheme of things. But if that isn't how I want to live my life, because I find this way of staying in this job or this friendship or this relationship unhealthy, I find people are unloving, unkind, abusive, prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, blah, blah, blah. My dreams aren't coming into reality here, you know? And maybe part of the reason I might have gotten in that relationship is because I had learned how to love myself. I think we come into contact with all these other people in the world for us to we get in relationships with people because we might have common wounds and similar past pain and heartbreak, similar things, But we can all have lessons to learn in life, and I think the biggest lesson is to heal, to work through our fears and insecurities about love. That's the Eight of Swords, being up in your head about love. Well, if we haven't learned to love ourselves, we're going to get in relationships with people who come into our life that we're drawn and attracted to, who are happy that we haven't learned to love ourselves. It's like, perfect, let's date, let's get married. You don't love yourself? Perfect. You're my kind of person. Oh, you got a lot of fear and insecurity? Me too. Let's go out. Oh, are you immature and impulsive? Me too. Let's have a blast. Oh, are you selfish and greedy and materialistic? Me too. Let's hang out. Is to kind of like the world. I think the way it's set up is, for one thing, is if whatever we think we want, that's our dream, will manifest that into reality. And then sometimes we get in things and it's like, oh, wait, I guess that wasn't it. And life is all about learning lessons. And part of it is to learn that we all can want, the devil can represent the world. We all want to enjoy things in the world, right? But the lesson, I think, is to learn that the things of the world are meant to be enjoyed. It's for us to enjoy ourselves in. But we're supposed to do it from a place of love and kind of being free. I'm not enslaved and imprisoned and confined. That's the devil card. I love myself. I am free to enjoy the things of the world because I'm not using them as like a vice or a crutch. I'm not using those things in the world and indulging in those things of the world in place of love. I love myself. When we learn to love ourselves, we can go enjoy the things of the world. They no longer have that hold on us because we haven't given them and those things that much importance in our life. It's just something that I enjoy, but I don't look to that for my sense of happiness or worth and well-being. Some people are still caught up in those things, you know? It's kind of like all the things in the world that we can kind of get addicted to for our sense of worth and value, like money and materialism and status and image and power, or because we haven't learned to love ourselves, we're just looking to feel better. And instead of doing the work to heal from past pain and heartbreak, we go indulge ourselves in the world, and the things that we go indulge in can get a hold on us because we give it too much power to make us happy instead of making ourselves happy and enjoying things in the world. And then those things can become an addiction, you know? So I think some high vibe people have learned some lessons. They're detaching from a layer, because life is about learning all these lessons about ourselves. And we have many layers to the depths of our. We find new and new, more and more ways that we can be defensive or fearful or prideful or whatever. But they've learned some lesson, and they're moving forward, putting in work and effort to heal and to reflect on the truth. And they could have to move away. You know, our worldly nature is our more immature worldly nature, which could be represented by the Page of Pentacles. When we were indulging in our more immature ways of thinking and logic and reasoning, and we just had growing up to do, we would have aligned with other people in the world that were happy that we lived our life that way. And those people still might want us to be in relationship with them. And some people are like, no, I'm not going to align with that within myself. And when I don't align with that within myself, and I want to move forward in life in a more, in the Three of Swords Libra energy, in a more just and fair and balanced way, and not being tipped out of balance and letting my fear or my insecurity or my just more worldly nature run my life, or my more materialistic nature run my life, or my more immature nature run my life. I want to be more balanced within myself so I can have just more balance in my life where I can enjoy the things of the world without still having hope and faith and belief in my dreams, because shadow energy is about keeping us stuck in non-life giving energy where we keep repeating these same patterns and ways of being where there's nothing new. We're not growing and maturing ourselves anymore. And we might know other people in our life who aren't growing and maturing themselves and moving forward in life and facing some of their fears and insecurities to, you know, get that new job, educate yourself, be more open to love, embracing loving people in their life, and, you know, staying in whatever it is that their vice is or their addiction is, or, you know. And it's like, I want to heal. And when we do that, the Eight of Swords going from the 4 to the 8 is kind of taking back the Four of Swords of the other people. If other people that we were hoping to heal things with, but they're like staying back here, and it's like, oh no, don't move forward. No, don't heal. You know, you should be in a mental prison about love. Don't leave me. You know? And you're like, you know, I'm going to move forward and heal in truth and love and justice and fairness and balance. If you want to detach from some of the things in your life that you cling to that keep you imprisoned and enslaved in these old ways of being, and you want to be more just and fair and balanced and loving and see the truth that some ways of being need to be let go of, yeah. But everybody has to be held accountable for their actions. And if not, I accept that you have free will, and I'm going to take back trying to heal things with you. It's kind of like, I wish you peace. But if people have been encouraging people to heal and love themselves and believe in themselves and to put in work and effort to face their fears and insecurities or their self-limiting beliefs, you know, but they choose not to do it, it's seeing the truth of that. If they don't want to heal, if they don't want to speak their truth, if they don't want to take action in truth and love, if they don't want to be more just and fair, if they want to keep living life the way they've lived it, That's their free will choice. But high vibe people have seen some truth about something that's unhealthy and toxic and selfish or greedy or immature or competitive and prideful and egotistical. Sometimes we can have people in our life that want us to always be kind of like never free of them. I have control over you. That could be a friend or a family member. You shouldn't move forward with other people and heal and believe in yourself. You should be codependent on me. It's like, you know, I have a dream I want to bring into reality, and you're my friend or my sibling or my parent, and my dreams can't come into reality with you because I can't marry you, have children with you, whatever. And I need to quit being codependent on you, and I need to detach from you. And some people don't like that because it makes them feel powerful and in control if other people keep being codependent on them. And then there's other people who are just in their ego who always try to tempt other people. If they're moving forward in life and they're healing and, maybe moving forward with other people and healing. Well, no, 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 no. You're healing now. You're moving forward. You're like manifesting your dreams into reality. Here I am. Don't you want what I'm offering you? Some people are like, no, I don't want what you're offering me anymore. Because I've already repeated that pattern with you probably a few times. And I've seen the truth that you don't choose love. It's like for you to get your ego boost. And then, I try to work with you in a relationship. I feel left out in the cold. I try to heal things with you. And you seem to be in a mental prison about love. Until you free yourself, I'm going to move forward in life. Until you want to come towards me and speak the truth and tell me the truth about how you have freed yourself from the things that confined and restricted and limited and imprisoned you and the people in your life who therefore then manipulated you to be in that energy, and you always kind of gave in to that. Can just be people who give in to their worldly nature. Don't you want to be in a relationship? Aren't you tempted? Can't I offer you these things of the world? Money, materialism, status, image, power. Won't you get in a relationship with me? It's like, well, does it ever move forward in love? Or do you just want me to indulge you in your ego and you tempt me with things of the world? It could be people tempting people with sex. It could be people tempting people, just like a job. Stay in this job, even though we're selfish and greedy and prideful and micromanaging and abusive. I was like, I'm not staying here. I am moving on. I see that you have not healed, and I'm going to quit investing time, energy, and effort and take back the idea that I can heal you. And that can be a pattern of relationship that people get into, is thinking, especially when you're young, oh, I'm sure that they'll grow up one day and pop out to be a more mature person. Well, they've already shown you they're not a more mature person, that they're immature and they got their issues that they don't deal with. And sometimes, as long as we keep indulging people in their shadowy ways of being, they have no incentive to move forward. Why? You're indulging them in their shadowy ways of being. So, some people have learned those lessons. They're healing, even though they could be in a little bit of a mental prison, because those people in their life could be people they love, children, siblings, parents, friends, romantic relationships. But it's like, I can't keep staying in a relationship with someone who chooses not to be loving and truthful and just and fair, and someone who refuses to let go of some of these old ways of being, to move forward in life, to step out of their comfort zone, to be a little bit more bold and brave and confident. And I'm holding myself accountable for my actions. If I'm in an unhealthy environment, I don't have to stay. I have free will. Even though I might have to go through a period of feeling left out in the cold, because whenever you leave like a friendship group or a romantic relationship, you're going to go through a period of feeling, kind of out in the cold and detached, which is what the Five of Pentacles talks about. But it's having hope and faith and belief. Some people just might be detaching from some people to heal. And I'm going to take some time to really think about, what are my dreams? What is my truth? Is it being more aligned with the world and money and materialism or indulgence? Is that living the life? Am I going to be happy living my life that way where it's all about me indulging maybe just my more immature, indulgent nature? Or is it love? And some of those people just might take a break from their shadowy nature or their worldly nature that tempts them to ignore their more loving, intuitive nature. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to take a break from being consumed with thinking my worldly nature or my materialistic view of life or my more emotionally defensive nature that I should live more from my mind than my heart in my King of Swords Libra energy, or other people in my life who might be kind of bossy and controlling. But, again, we wouldn't probably, I mean, we can all get in relationships with people and initially it seems great, you know, but as some people start to heal, because we can all get in relationships with people because, we might have similar wounding and stuff like that. But if one person is doing work and effort to heal from some of their past pain and heartbreak and to detach from some old ways of being that they know are unhealthy within themselves, just like I don't want to sit in the same fear and insecurities that I've had for the last 5 years. I want to do this work so I can release that and maybe put a lot of thought and attention on to why do I have these fears and insecurities about loving myself, believing in myself? Well, if one person does that in a relationship and the other person isn't doing that, they might not like that you're loving yourself because they like to indulge in a relationship with you where you make your life more about staying where you're at and indulging them in a relationship. And if you start to heal and love yourself, well, then that's going to change your relationship. You're not kind of in whatever state you were in when you originally met them and got in a relationship with them. And they know that you're going to move forward differently because the truth sets us free. When we heal from some of our self-limiting beliefs and our fears and our insecurities, and we work through that, and we're motivated and inspired to heal and to change and move forward in life differently. The other people in our life, when one person in a dynamic, like a social group, if they change how they start acting and responding in a relationship, like, I don't want to fight and argue anymore. If the other person starts to do things that are unkind, unloving, well, maybe before people used to fight and argue or whatever, kind of like taking the bait. And it's like, nope, I am not going to take the bait. If they want to fight and argue, I'll try to handle it as peacefully and calmly as I can. I want to stay in a place of peace and balance because it's kind of like if one person, you have this, like a fire going, not a real fire. I'm talking about like an argument or conflict. And one person wants to throw a log on it and like, look, and they start like jumping up and down. They want you to throw another log on the fire and for you to start jumping up and down, and you're like, no, I'm not doing that. Okay, I see that you have thrown something in the fire. You might be unloving, unkind, you might be cold and detached, whatever. I'm going to keep moving forward in an energy of peace. Well, that can really bother them, right? Because they were trying to get you, like, play the game. I'm going to do this and then you're going to do that. And when the other person says, no, I'm not playing that game anymore, it kind of highlights how they're acting a little shadowy, maybe immature, and, none of us like it when it kind of, even without words, kind of gets communicated that basically we're kind of acting immature and whatever. And so then some people might amp it up a little bit more, and high vibe people are like, nope, I'm not taking the bait. I'm not going to play that game. Is this person going to choose love or are they not? I've been trying to offer them love and encouragement. I've been speaking my truth, trying to maintain balance, trying to offer love to someone who seems to have a lot of fear and insecurity of change or not being manipulative or controlling or whatever. And I don't want to be in manipulative, controlling relationships. And I'm not going to take the bait to get in that power play dynamic. I can choose peace and they can keep jumping up and down or doing whatever the hell they do. And it's just letting people kind of show you the truth of who they are. And then we can make decisions based on the truth of who people are. um, let's go look at the shadowy energy down here. So it might be a battle within yourself. Part of you might want to start fresh and new and detach from something to heal, but you're in a mental prison because you could be afraid that other people are going to judge you. But I think the thing is, if we're truthful and honest and, you know, that we're trying to make decisions from a place of love, and if we've been in a workplace or relationship, friendship, whatever, where there has been an unhealthy dynamic going on, and hopefully most people do what everything they know they can do to feel proud of themselves, that I feel I did everything I could do to not contribute to the unhealthy dynamic, to be truthful and balanced and loving and supportive and encouraging. And I feel like I've done everything I can. That, again, in an energy of peace, I wish these people peace, but I need to move on. But, in our ego, we can still be afraid of people judging us as being selfish or greedy or unkind or unloving. I think people are going to think what they think based on who they are. Reasonable, rational people are going to know that, we don't know everything that's going on in workplaces, in friendships, in romantic relationships. And they're going, I think the more balanced we seem and truthful that we are, we don't have to tell everybody our business, but staying in a place of balance and coming from an energy of love for ourselves, having love for the other people. But if they're kind of, we don't deserve to be in an unjust, unfair relationship either, where things are unhealthy and unnurturing and not supportive, and people being bossy or controlling, or possibly just more ego driven or materialistically driven. And of course, with the devil, though, it can go all the way to the extreme of very abusive. I just think it's to accept that people are going to think what they think regardless, based on what their normal disposition is. If they're a loving, compassionate, empathetic person, they're going to be loving and compassionate and empathetic to the situation. The people that are predisposed not to like people who love and believe in themselves, who don't do what they've done in life and, get caught up in the ego or the image or whatever, and it's all about appearances, or, have this thing that, the whatever, it's just unfair to be in hell. They're going to think what they think, and it's kind of like, between me and God, I have to know that I feel that I did everything I could. And if the people I was in relationship with are choosing and repeatedly choose it in their free will choice to be emotionally detached, bossy or controlling, stubborn and prideful, and ignore love, well, then they have a different idea of how they want to live their life. And that's fine. They can go find someone else to go be in a relationship with, to have that type of relationship with. But that's not the type of relationship I want to be in. And I want to be in a relationship where other people hold themselves accountable for their actions. And that could be why some relationships ended, because some people could have acted in a way that was immature, bossy, controlling, stubborn, prideful, didn't want to change, didn't want to let go of any of their ways of being, didn't want to detach from things in their life or people in their life that might manipulate and control them. They have things in their life that restrict them, confine them, imprison them, enslave them. It could just be the world at large. The world says I should make my life about money and materialism and status and image, and I've completely bought into that, and I'm very ego driven. That is my truth. And life is about getting in a relationship, not about love. It's to get in a relationship, to have the status and the security and all that. How dare you leave? Or I'm so afraid you'll leave because that'll affect my status and image. And then their fear and insecurity that you'll maybe leave one day ends up sabotaging the relationship itself because they're not operating and being in the relationship from a place of love. It was more because of ego and image or fear or insecurity to begin with. Anyway, let's go look at the shadowy people. And some of the people, shadowy people, instead of being truth, they had the free will choice in a relationship to be open, honest, authentic, warm, loving, vulnerable. And some people are like, oh my God, that would be scary as hell. That is like hell to them. It's like, no way. I'd have to detach from my more worldly nature. I'd have to be willing to invest in healing to figure out why I'm so afraid of being authentic and vulnerable and maybe just and fair in a relationship. I have this illusion that can't you be in a relationship? And isn't it more like, well, I give you this and you give me that. And if we have the things of the world and we have stability and security or status or image or whatever, or we're just in a relationship out of fear and insecurity, aren't you going to stay in it? Why in the hell did you ever decide to love yourself? It changed the whole thing. You're the one who changed. You're the one who healed. It's like, that is kind of life-giving energy is about healing and growing and maturing yourself to detach from old ways of being, just like you move forward in life. When you're 15, it's perfect to be 15 and enjoy 15-year-old things. But as you get closer and closer to 18, you're supposed to let go of some of those more immature ways of being and have more confidence and belief in yourself and improve on some of your skills and things to be a more mature person in the world. And then you do the same thing going to 21 and 25 and 30 and 35. For some people, they could have thought, no, you get to a certain point in life, you have these things of the world, and then you're done. And some people have a very worldly view of life. It's about getting in a relationship, finding someone to exchange resources with, like time, energy, effort, hugs, and kisses. And, then some people even think, if I do that, then you're supposed to love me. But they're in shadowy energy. I'm emotionally defensive. I'm self-centered. It's all about me. Isn't this the way relationships are supposed to be? It's like, oh my God, you have illusions about what it means to be in relationships. And that's the difference. You either see the truth or you're living in illusion and wanting to be in denial of the truth. Some people are very materialistic. They don't even want to see the truth about that within themselves. Some people are very selfish, prideful, and egotistical. They maybe don't want to see the truth about themselves. Some people think it's just and fair in their Libra energy to be whatever the hell way they think is just and fair in their own mind to be in a relationship. Some people want to be in a relationship with people where it's not based on love. If some of those people were in a relationship with people who love and believe in themselves, who are willing to move forward in life and step out of their comfort zone to live life, where you kind of listen to your intuition to guide you to grow and mature yourself and live your life differently as you had to keep moving forward. Some people are like, oh, how dare you? You're supposed to make your life all about the world, just like me. You're supposed to want to stay in a relationship because of money and materialism and status and image, or just because you got in a relationship, you should be happy. It's like, so I'm never supposed to heal from any of my issues. I'm never supposed to get out of any of my fears and insecurities. I'm just supposed to indulge in a relationship with you. I'm just supposed to be codependent on the world for my sense of worth and value? I'm supposed to ignore my intuition and my life force energy? I'm just supposed to make my life all about the world and my ego and my image and indulgence? And some people are like, yes, you weren't supposed to ever love and believe in yourself. You were supposed to continually keep aligned with your worldly view of life, stay in the relationship because of ego and image and money and materialism and codependency, because that's how I live my life. And I have fear of detaching from my more immature view of life, because that would require that I heal and see the truth. And I'm in a mental prison about living my life differently, because it requires that I kind of call judgment on my more worldly view of life, where I thought it was just and fair to live my life that way. And I don't like holding myself accountable for my actions. And there also might be other people in the world who might want to be in a relationship with me, or that I have in my life in a foundation of mine, like a friend group or a family group. And those people all live their life this way. And if I take that cup of love, I think they'll be mad, because they want me to stay back there aligned with them and living life like them. And if I move forward with loving, healed people, I'll kind of see the truth about how they live their life, which is probably why they have people in their life who probably encourage them to be rejecting to the loving people in their life. Oh, you shouldn't move forward with them. I think they're, they basically project all their negative traits and characteristics onto the loving people in the world. I think you should stay aligned with us. I think you should keep loyal to us. I don't think you should move forward. And the whole reason why they don't want them to have their dreams come into reality is because they probably see the truth about the people they have been aligning themselves with. That those people try to tempt them to be in their fear and their insecurity and their ego, because that stops them from loving and believing in themselves and aligning with other people in their life who are loving and just and fair, who aren't trying to manipulate them, aren't trying to control them. And some of those types of people and ways of being like that could be their comfort zone. And they refuse to see that those people are manipulating them or controlling them, or don't really have their best interests at heart, or are selfish and greedy and prideful and egotistical and want to be in a relationship with them for their own selfish, greedy, prideful reasons. So they're enslaved and imprisoned, if nothing else, by their own mind, by their own fear, by their not wanting to see the truth and deal with the truth within themselves, not wanting to admit that they're a fallible human being like the rest of us who have made mistakes. But they've learned and grown and matured themselves and learned valuable lessons from that life experience. That's how we free ourselves. We all make mistakes. We could have all ran our life off into the ditch and been stubborn and prideful and thought we knew best and blah, 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 blaming everyone else for our problems, being jealous and envious and petty and vengeful and whatever. Well, if we're willing to realize that we create a little hell on earth for ourselves, and we're willing to detach from those old ways of being, to grow and mature ourselves and to heal, then we're not as afraid of judgment, because we've learned to focus on love. And once you've kind of learned how to love yourself, it's like, then those experiences that you had are things that you can use to help other people free themselves. But anyway, we never looked. I wanted to see what the cards were that aren't showing themselves. So right now, there's some people in the world that have they've made their free will choice. No, the truth isn't love. No, I'm not going to see the truth. No, I'm not going to hold myself accountable for my actions. No, people would judge me. I don't want to be judged. I don't want to see the truth. I don't want to have to detach from my more worldly view of life, my more immature, indulgent view of life. I don't want to detach from other people in my life who are willing to exchange resources with me and live life the way I do it, or indulge me in a relationship. I'd rather ignore love, because I won't get hurt if I don't do love. I'd rather be in a relationship with someone who's bossy, controlling, prideful, egotistical, selfish, greedy, because if they're willing to exchange resources with me, hugs, kisses, money, I'll stay in a relationship with them. I won't get hurt. And there's no love there. I won't get hurt. And for some people, that's the most important thing. I I would have to think it's because if I were to move forward in life and really be vulnerable and authentic, if those people moved away from me, they would maybe think they could never heal from it. Just keep them imprisoned. What if I authentically was vulnerable and told someone I love them and I really wanted to move forward in a relationship with them? And what if they were in a mental prison about being in a relationship with me? Then it'd be like, I guess, like the greatest sin is to be authentic and vulnerable. I think it's admirable, but some people, I guess, just like don't want to admit that. And some people might have already been toxic. So if they were to admit that, and other people have already moved on and healed, well, then they'd kind of be in a mental prison that they communicated their truth and like the world would maybe know or something. So instead, they'd rather just ignore love, get in relationships with whoever will be in a relationship with them, and have just decided this makes logical, practical sense. I'm going to indulge in a relationship. I'm going to make my life more about money and materialism and status and image, and I'll just try to indulge in my worldly pleasures, and it won't be love. So, what they're not showing is that the Eight of Swords are in a mental prison. And the Ace of Wands, they refuse to take creative, inspired action in their life. And again, they might be aligning with being more inspired by the world. I will maybe have a new beginning with someone who I might be attracted to, but both the Six of Pentacles and the Devil card, this is Taurus energy, this is Capricorn energy. It could be more for status and image and money and materialism. And that nature within themselves is what tempts them to live more from their mind and their heart. That's the answer. I'm in a mental prison. Other people could have moved away from me and healed, and now I'm in a mental prison. I could make an offer to those people, but I'd have to be held accountable for my actions. So instead, I know I have a better idea. And then we go from the Eight of Swords to the One Sword, which means there's a Seven of Swords at play. And the Seven of Swords can just be some people who don't want to see the truth, who want to keep staying in denial of the truth, who think they can confuse other people about the truth, that they can manipulate people about the truth and confuse them about what the truth is. And instead of looking at life from a higher perspective and healing, it's like, well, that's an option. But then I'd have to be held accountable for my actions, and that kind of has me in a mental prison. I know I have a better idea. I'm going to stay in denial of the truth or try to confuse other people about the truth. I'm not going to show them that I'm in a mental prison. I'm not going to listen to my intuition and take bold, brave, creative action in my life. I'm going to communicate to someone that I want to exchange time, energy, and effort with them because I feel like I missed an opportunity in love with them. But the main reason I might be getting in a relationship with them is because I've just decided I could be attracted to you. I could, be caught up just thinking instead of love in a relationship, I'll just enjoy lust in a relationship. And so I'll have sex with you. And if you have financial resources that you're willing to give me, if I ignore love and willing to be in a relationship with me, I'll ignore love. Even though I might not be attracted to you or even want to have sex with you, if you have the things of the world that I want, that makes logical, practical sense. I'll skip love because then I have to be held accountable for my actions. And maybe you're kind of prideful and egotistical and selfish and greedy and manipulative, just like me. So then I don't have to be held accountable for my actions because we're both in that energy. So, it's kind of the difference of what do we do? We're in a mental prison that we could love people, but are we willing to detach from whatever we've been attached to in order to free ourselves, to believe that we deserve our divine inheritance? Are we willing to see the truth, speak the truth, take action in truth, even though we're fearful of what the future holds? Some people are. Some people are in these type of relationships right now where they've been trying to encourage people in their life. They've been offering them love. They've been trying to be just and fair and balanced and doing equal give and take. And the other person, I don't know, maybe isn't taking any action towards them. Maybe very bossy and controlling and self-centered. Maybe the Ace of Wands in reverse could be that people aren't having intimacy in their relationship. And the shadowy people are sure. Because also what shadowy people do, again, is to try to cause you to be in your fear and insecurity that, I don't know, if you better stay with the devil than to go out there in the world and maybe not find a relationship, which is what the Eight of Swords can be. Up in your head, 8 swords, about 2 of cups of love. You might not even find another relationship. You might not find anybody to exchange any time, energy, effort, materialism, or hugs and kisses with you. I think you should just stay here. And it's trying to wear on people's self-esteem so they don't love and believe in themselves and give up on their dreams. So they just stay in a relationship with someone who's in shadowy energy and quit offering love to themselves to heal and basically give up on their dreams and stay in an unloving situation. And some of those people that are in those shadowy type relationships are like, no, I have been trying to do this work. And eventually I have to see the truth of it. This person isn't motivated and inspired to be just and fair and change. And some of those people are done. And they are going to take that cup of love to deal with their own fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs, to take the lesson they've learned from this life experience, to let go of it, and to move forward and heal. And even though they might be a little fearful and afraid, they're going to, I can't keep living in a relationship that's unhealthy. And I'm going to hold myself accountable for loving and believing in myself and give a lot of thought to what is love, what isn't love, what is kind, what isn't kind, what is just, what is not just. And they're also then going to invest in other people in the world who they feel are moving forward in a more high vibrational way, who are more balanced within themselves, who've also learned lessons in life, who've healed, who might be in their own mental prison and given a lot of thought to what is loving and what isn't loving, who are also moving forward in this way. At any given point in time in life, we have people who have detached from an old way of being and way of viewing themselves and the world around them, who are moving forward differently. We have other people who are just moving in to that type of cycle for them to learn those lessons at that lesson of life, and other people who are moving out of that lesson of life to move to the next lessons in life. Let's go see. Tell me about the people who are harnessing high vibe Libra energy right now. The 8 of Cups, the Justice card, because of the Death card. No more an illusion about something where there's no life-giving energy there in the Death card. That we can love and encourage people trying to get them to choose love, but they have to be willing to detach in the death card, which is Scorpio energy. They have to be willing to detach from ways of being and thinking and living life that they're emotionally attached to. High vibe Scorpio energy is, I want to experience the highs and lows of life emotionally. I want to be in deep, meaningful relationships. I am willing to be bold and brave enough to detach from some of my old ways of being in order to give birth to something new. Because that's what's just and fair, is to keep moving forward in your life, growing and maturing yourself, like moving to the next level of life, you know? And that's how we keep getting our divine inheritances. It's not just and fair for you like to get to be 18 years old and refuse to grow and mature yourself anymore, like most people kind of grow and mature themselves and challenge themselves and have confidence in themselves. Like, I think I can act like more like and become like a 21-year-old and a 25-year-old instead of being like a 45-year-old who's still an 18-year-old emotionally and in their thinking, logic, and reasoning, you know? And they're going to offer themselves. The Eight of Cups moves away from the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is also Scorpio energy. Some people could have found out that some of the people they were in a relationship with harness more shadowy Scorpio energy. They don't have to be a Scorpio sun sign, but people who harness a more shadowy Scorpio nature, and which is water sign energy of the emotional realm, they could be people who prefer to keep their emotions buried beneath the surface. They do not want to explore the highs and lows of life emotionally. It's just kind of like the Walt Disney World of life. Part of life is like, are you going to say, bring it on, God? I want to experience it all. I got one lifetime. Yes, I know if I go high and go for these things, I might be disappointed sometimes. I believe I can get myself back up to get back on the rides again. And some people are like, nope, it's confusing, which it is. We're emotionally complex human beings. It is emotionally confusing to be a human being. But are we willing to work through those, to heal from past life experiences when things didn't go the way we thought they were going to go, to take the lessons that we learned of how we needed to grow and mature ourselves, how other people in our life maybe needed to grow and mature themselves, and we take the lessons we've learned to learn from that life experience, to stay focused on our dreams and love and call judgment on that past experience, to keep moving forward believing in our dreams, to give birth to something new. Okay, that didn't work out. Okay, you know, maybe I had illusions about what it meant to be in a relationship. Maybe the person I got in a relationship had illusions about what it meant to be in a relationship. I just need to see the truth of it. I need to see where I need to grow and mature myself. I need to see the truth of where they were at. And it can be confusing because sometimes we have the Seven of Swords here. Sometimes people, don't tell you why they don't want to be in a relationship with you, and it's really confusing. And part of that might be that if this relationship that I go to get into doesn't work out, well, then I want to come back. I don't want you to know the truth of why I went to go get in a different relationship. It might have been because you've healed. I don't want to heal. I think I can get in a relationship with someone, or maybe it could be someone they felt like they missed an opportunity with in the past, or it could be someone who reminds them of people in their life that they're used to being in a relationship with. It's like their comfort zone, and you are out of their comfort zone. So I want to go get in a relationship with someone who seems more on where I'm at in life. But if it doesn't work out, I don't want you to know the truth. And if you're confused about the truth, then if it doesn't work out, I can maybe come back. And if any of those people are trying now, thinking to get you to come back, you might be that, I've moved on. Whether it was a shadowy relationship or it just didn't work out. Some people might say, I've moved on. I'm in a just and fair relationship now. When this relationship didn't work out and I had to move forward on my own, I met other people who I got in a relationship with. And now, I think my dreams are going to come into reality with those people. And even if some people didn't get in a relationship, if they've seen through the illusion, if somebody was trying to manipulate them because they wanted to go play in the world. Some of those people are like, I'm not an illusion about who you are. I definitely saw the truth that you were all about yourself and you didn't really give a damn about anyone else but indulging yourself. And I see you as, you don't have to tell them that because it's not worth it. Just like, no, I've kind of moved on. And it's like, I kind of healed from all that. I wish you peace. The reason it's not worth it is because if they're prideful, egotistical, narcissistic, or whatever, it just causes a big old thing to argue about. There is no need to argue. I've moved on. I wish you peace. I'm not in a mental prison about it anymore. I've moved on. And then those people might, you know, be the ones who are mentally confused because they could have thought, I can go indulge myself, ignore your love, you'll be confused, you'll be in a mental prison. Then when I want to come back, I could just come back and get in a relationship with you because I'm sure you'll still be in a mental prison about me. And now they're going to realize that they took a foolish risk in a relationship. If you have a relationship with people who are just and fair and loving and nurturing and supportive, and you decide, I think I'm going to ignore your love and go indulge in whatever the hell I want to go indulge in, those people see that that was unjust, unfair, unloving, and no longer an illusion of seeing you as a loving person. Even though you might have learned lessons from that life experience, the whole thing is, if you were in a relationship with someone, the opportunity, again, was there for people to work together with you in a just and fair and loving manner. And if they didn't choose to put in that work and effort, it kind of already showed that maybe there were several pages or chapters or books behind in life lessons than you. And now they might have learned some lessons to be here, but you've already moved here. And again, it's like, but if I were to maybe get in a relationship with you again, while you were off doing what you were doing, which might have helped you learn some lessons, I learned all these other lessons because I wasn't indulging in that kind of behavior. And I've learned even more since you left. And I'm glad you're up here now. I'm glad you're not operating from your shadow nature. I hope you've healed from some issues that made you act in that way, because we need more healed people in the world. But, it's kind of like if people don't take that opportunity at that time. There could be other people, that you kind of are on the same page. People could have gotten out of different relationships that they had to learn lessons from. Some of you could have made an offer to people to heal things as you're moving forward. Some other people might make offers to you to heal things. And I think the important thing is to, the superpower we've been given to navigate this game of life is to listen to your intuition. Who is operating from a place of love and truth and honesty? Who has really healed? And who is just coming and making you an offer, appearing on your line when they're still really in shadowy energy? It's just the thing that they went to go indulge in didn't work out, or how they were living their life didn't work out, or the relationship they were in didn't work out, but they're still in shadowy energy. They're still people who are living more from their mind than their heart, who could have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship, who still might be all about themselves or indulgence, who really don't see that, that was an illusion of what a true relationship means. A true relationship in the Justice cards means shedding that more immature view of relationships where someone, whether they're male or female, for some reason thinks that the scales of justice should be tipped in their favor and they should be like the privileged, pampered, indulged person in a relationship. It's supposed to be about justice and fairness and balance. Who has seen the truth of that and who's just flapping their lips trying to make you buy into an illusion? But that the fact of the matter is they are more aligned with their worldly or egoic or emotionally defensive or self-centered view of life, and who really has learned to love and believe in themselves. I would say the people who probably have learned a lot of lessons would have a lot more to tell you about the lessons they've learned than the people who don't want to say too much because they don't want you to see the truth that they're trying to spin a story. Tell us about the people who are, and the thing is important is I just don't want people to act out of pride and ego because that has its own consequences. And we can offer people peace and glad that they've learned lessons in life and still not want to be in a relationship with them. It's like, I'm glad that you have healed. I'm glad, blah, 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 but I've moved on. If you made an offer to someone who might have moved on because you could have been in a relationship with them at one time, they could be wanting to maybe be in a relationship with you. There might be communication in the 3D world because they want to get clear about if you really, or you with them, would really want to be clear if people really have kind of like seen the light, and are emotionally independent of some old ways of being that previously contributed to a relationship not working out, who have learned to become more emotionally independent and balanced within themselves and still not in any way attracted to the people in their life that they could have been attracted to before because they had lessons learned. It's like, basically, have you learned those lessons? Have you healed? Is that over? Have you seen the truth about some of the other people you might have gone out with in your life that you needed to learn lessons from? Because if they haven't learned the lesson, they're going to repeat that same pattern again. Tell us about the people that harness some shadowy Libra energy. The Strength card, because of the Ace of Pentacles. Some of those people are still operating from their egoic nature. Some of those people could quit a relationship that they're in because there is someone they really want to be in a relationship with. For some of them, it is a Capricorn. And that person could be someone, if they're in shadowy energy, it might be someone else who's in shadowy energy. And it would seem like the perfect relationship if that person would get in a relationship with them. Because with it being the Devil card, they don't have to be a Capricorn. Probably the high vibe Capricorns in their life have moved on from them. And the people who harness high vibe Capricorn energy, they want to maybe be more in a relationship, either with someone who is loving and nurturing and supportive, but they just want them to be in a relationship with them where they quit like loving and believing in themselves and just indulge this person in their ego. Come invest in me and my ego. Don't you love me? Aren't you in a mental prison being bold and brave and strong and creative? And for others, they've already rejected those type of people, and they really want to be in a relationship with people who have those things of the world, because the things of the world are what they really want. And if anybody that they have an opportunity to be in a relationship with doesn't have those things of the world that they want, they could be ignoring loving people in their life, or they will reject a love offer, because with those people, they'd maybe only have 5 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles is like having like long-term stability and abundance, and the Devil would have those things, all the things of the world, and they really want someone who has those things to make them an offer to be in a relationship. So if the people investing in them right now don't have that financial things to give them, or the status or the image or the power, I think they're going to ignore that person's love offer soon, because in their ego, they think someone else will come along who does have those things. And if that person has those things, that's the person they'll get in a relationship with. So there you go, Libra energies. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.